my god!
I gotta start out with that. You know that one movie, French Dispatch. That
Look,
boom,
look,
boom,
look.
boom. So sick. Listen,
I told you not to say it. With Geese Guyera and Taylor. It's a Pokemon About podcast, another thing. And oh my god, today, this morning, clambos, we're on. I can't even begin to tell you the
He's taking off his jacket.
The trials and tribulations. I'm getting worked up, Geese. I'm getting hot. Guess how I get to wake up this morning? The gosh darn landlord demanding more and more money, even though we pay all the rent, but she just wants extra free money with no websites attached. Just give me all this money, even though you used to have a website, even though LADWP will easily pay for those. So it's very frustrating. Mike didn't work. That's not interesting.
Kind of a trust me. You're gonna have to take my word for it. Oh, who do we pay? Just me. Can I have a record? Just trust me. Look, listen.
Like, what kind of money are we talking about?
Hush money, Geese.
Oh, you mean like the
hush money?
Do you mean like the amount of money that's owed?
Yeah.
It's like $700 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Incidental fees over the past, I don't know, year
always
or
find
something.
You remember when they were telling us, "Oh, you should have been paying $1 per month for the past several years or something."
It was way more than $1, and we were paying that. By the way,
so ridiculous.
That seems illegal, Guyera.
Most of the things that happen in that building are illegal. Since 1901 or 1921 or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Other news, everybody's sick. Everybody's a little bit sick.
No, I'm fine. I just had to go to the
That's the mentality.
I just had to go to the bathroom because Geese said she had to go to the bathroom. So I was just going to... Happy birthday to Aaron. Professor Ticklebits. Everybody send him a message.
Happy birthday and thanks for the boilerplate.
Although, it'll be a week before you hear this, so...
Happy belated birthday.
He's so old.
Yeah.
What is so old? Oh, if you say 29, I will...
Wait, have you ever even interacted with Aaron, Taylor?
No.
Yes,
How would I
has.
have? What, name one time? Oh, I know the one time. Yeah, he was on stream. We were talking. We were playing. We were listening.
We've never streamed.
We were playing a game.
All right. In watching, playing, looking, eating, goofing today, it's the same as every week, Clambos. I watched Mandalorian, I watched Ted Lasso, and I watched John Wick 4, much like every week. It was fun.
How was it?
In the IMAX. Lots of action. Well, actually, there's a complaint going around a lot of people had that it was too long, and I can see why, because there's some very, very cool scenes. But there's a scene in one location. I guess I won't reveal the location on account of spoilers, but there was one section that I thought, okay, yep, we get it. Yep.
Oh,
yes.
No. What's a runtime on it?
Somebody said something like 3 hours. There's no way it's 3 hours. Maybe it's like 2.5, 240.
Okay.
Well, we can never find this information.
Unfortunately. So, but yes, there's one area and it's just normal enemies he's fighting, and it goes on for maybe 20, 30 minutes. But other than that, fun movie.
You said normal enemies.
They were normal enemies. Wasn't even.
I've been playing too many JRPGs. That's all I'm going to say. Speaking
of JRPGs, I got a note later about them. But yes, Taylor, talk about your JRPGs since you've geese peeped your way into bringing them up.
Oh, yeah. Finally finished, for my plan, finally beat the first ending of Dragon Quest XI. And from what I understand, ending 2. So that a lot of people say Act 3 is the post game. Some people say it's Act 3. It's a very divisive part of the game, so I'm kind of excited to get into it.
Only 80 more hours to go.
I think it's going to be a good 20.
130 hours till the platinum. Yeah, that game's way too long. Before we continue, I want to say this episode about Pokemon, and I think this episode is very good and sweet, and it's about Ash and Pikachu.
Very good episode.
Geese, please tell me anything. Your choice. Geese's choice.
Just anything.
Well, I'll mention too that I also am watching The Mandalorian and Ted Lasso, and the latest episodes were fine. I don't know how I feel about this season of Mandalorian. There's a lot of intersplicing of different stories going on in episodes, and it's okay, I guess.
Do you not like that?
I mainly watch for Grogu anyway.
I don't even think I finished season 2. No, I did finish season 2.
I could
So-
not tell you what happened in season 2.
So I'm glad you said that. I have been trying to get it because I go in phases. I think a lot of people do this. I'll be in a phase for like 6 months where all I want to do is play games. Don't want to watch movies, don't want to go outside, just want to play games. Then I'll have 4
I'm the
months
same
where
way.
all I want to do is go outside, not play games, not watch movies, and then I'll go back and forth. So right now, I feel myself entering an anime phase where all I want to do is watch anime. So that's good for me because all of the shows that I finished, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, I can pick back up. The problem is that a lot of the shows I was watching are going into a new season and I just can't remember anything that happened. So I've been watching
Yeah.
recaps and I'm like, did I see this? Have I seen this? I don't know if that means my memory's faulty. I don't know if that means all of the shows I watch are the exact same thing just over and over again. I know there's no new Jujutsu Kaisen to watch.
I played video games. It was the same. Resident Evil 4 Remake and Fortnite Gamers. Clambos, we've got terrible news to report. Last night, I wanted to just have a healthy eating day. So what did I get? I got a veggie bowl from Chipotle full of guacamole, something I never eat, and now I remember why. Guacamole, avocado, and pico de gallo. Give me the worst tumbo imaginable. I was in so much stomach pain for so many hours. Clambos, it was terrible.
Oh.
Well, Geese is a tumbo expert. Her tumbo's always tumbusing. She feels like she's on the verge of vombus once a day.
Really?
Always got a tumbo.
Not bombus. More like
No,
my
just a
butt's
tumbo.
gonna explode.
Yeah. But that's what I get for trying to eat healthy for one day.
The white rice, brown rice thing, where everybody was trying to kind of peddle brown rice as the new healthy thing. This was like 5 years ago or so. And people were like, oh no, white rice is so unhealthy. You need to eat brown rice. So everybody was switching over to brown rice. And they found out that because a whole generation had grown up on white rice, their bodies couldn't metabolize brown rice as well. So white rice was better for them, but brown rice was better overall. So maybe your secret healthy eating is Tombo's. They get Cascabellos back in.
I'm in a fight with them right now, so I'm not going.
Oh,
But,
okay. That's okay.
But in
Wait, what?
unhealthy eating news, I ate the big New Yorker pizza from my childhood, but with onions, not pepperoni. The crust at Pizza Hut is so horrific, Clambos. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
That would make Aaron so sad. He tells me of the glory days of Pizza Hut where they made their own dough.
Aaron's was the best. But anyway. Pan
Listen.
pizza's crusts tastes fine, I guess. Doesn't taste as good as Domino's. But every other crust, I can't even describe how terrible the feeling on the bottom of the pizza is. Because the top of it is like fine, like, ooh, they use a little spice here, it's fun. And then the bottom is just, it feels played out to say this, but it's just a cardboard, flat, nothing taste.
Well, I was going to ask if it had that kind of semi-sweet, almost spongy texture to it.
I wish it did. That's more like the pan, the spongy texture. But this is just nothing. It's just gross.
I used to get a lot of thin crust pizza. I don't know if I've mentioned it here, but my Friday routine when I was growing up and I first got my GameCube was always either play Metroid Prime or Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and eat an entire large pizza. And it was always a thin crust pizza. That's when I used to like Domino's.
Now that's gaming.
I don't like the thin crust pizza, but that does sound like a wonderful time. Substitute for a pan pizza, good to go.
Even now, if I want a gaming session and I just set out with the intent to play a game for a long period of time, I will get a pizza, get some sort of pop, and just set aside 5 hours to play a game, and it still gets me way too excited.
Oh, I love that. When I was in college and very lonely, I would come back from classes, 5 hours of Splatoon 2 in my dorm alone. What
I didn't mean to
time?
laugh at your loneliness.
Well, it's funny because it was a fond memory.
Well, it's funny because I wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't lonely per se. I guess a bit depressed. I went very hard in college academics wise. And so like I needed the brain break of just, coming back from classes,
Yeah.
Playing Splatoon for 5 hours.
That's what
Do you-
most people's college experience is.
Do you clambos have any idea how long I've tried to just say the words, I ate a pad thai extra spicy mixed vegetables with no mushrooms?
We're in pizza gaming time right now.
Pizza gamers.
Did you eat a dorm, Geese?
Oh my gosh, the food in my school was so bad, like the cafeteria food.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy, the food was very bad and expensive.
So there was terrible dorm food, right? I think that's pretty ubiquitous, is terrible dorm food. And one year, when my school was trying to become a higher tier of a school and trying to really get in the papers, they bring in an army of chefs. Just an army of them, about 40. And they're all in there with their big white hats and their little chef uniforms and everything, trying to cook gourmet food in a school cafeteria. So they had completely remodeled this thing, right? And I will never forget seeing them storm the stations and going to an omelet station, and I got like 5 omelets. But I was looking at this guy thinking, you trained a really long time for this. You were brought in to totally revamp this, and you're making a dumb student an omelet. And that was a very interesting interaction I had.
My sister went to college, and
Ooh.
her normal like checkout lady at the cafeteria is
Uh-huh.
Cardi B's mom.
Wow.
So she would
Now-
talk about Cardi B with her.
Is okay. So now we're entering a no judgment zone. No judgment zone, okay? That's where we
You're
are.
gonna ask who
We have
Cardi B
officially
is?
Who is Cardi B?
The famous musician, Cardinal
Ah.
Breakfast.
Oh, sick. What's his deal?
Her? Have you not seen the commercials for the Cardi B and Offset meal at McDonald's?
Have I seen a commercial in the past year? No.
Okay, well,
That was a good one, Geese. Okay.
she's
well,
a rapper. I don't know. She's a rapper.
She's a
famous
rapper, okay. And her mom
Fame-
went to your school?
That's
She
no-
directed the
No.
culinary program?
Wow.
Her mom was my sister's, like, she worked at the cafeteria. Okay. She worked at the cafeteria
My
at the
grandmother.
college my sister went to.
Okay. So
And
she
this was
worked at the
before, like,
cafeteria.
this was before Cardi B was like super huge. She was still big, but like she isn't like the superstar she was now.
Yeah, way
Oh,
before
yeah.
you knew her, Taylor.
Yeah. This is before I even knew who she was. Wow, that's
Wow.
impressive.
I was going to say something. Who's to say? what
Pad
it was?
Thai. You ate pad Thai,
No,
right?
no. It was related to. You can be a fancy
Sorry.
chef and just make fancy Michelin star meals on just even a little baby train. But listen, look, everybody.
Listen, Taylor?
I just need to quickly hear about butter chicken, falafel, and onyo soup, or onyo soup, or ponyo soup.
Onion.
In that order.
Darn it.
So after Aaron and I went to the Arboretum in Madison to look for birds, and we didn't see any like of the birds that I wanted to see, which was disappointing.
Are you really into birds?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It's a lie. It's a ruse.
What? I like birding. I like to go out and look at the birds and for birds and be like, oh, that's a belted kingfisher. Like, oh.
Okay.
If I may interrupt, Taylor,
Yes.
she 100% is into birds. In the glorious island nation of Nippon, Japan, we spent an immense amount of time standing next to a bird while she looked at it and fawned over it and filmed it.
What bird?
Yeah.
He was
It
sick,
was
to be fair.
I'm not quite sure what the equivalent is, but it was like a great blue heron.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's above my pay grade. I know
It was so
the word finch.
It was so sick though. It was in this canal in Kyoto, and it kept staring up at this restaurant like it wanted to get into the restaurant.
Uh-huh.
And Aaron and I saw it multiple nights in the same spot. So.
He lives
pretty
there. What are you
sick.
going to do?
So when you go birding, do you have like gear that you take with you? Do you have like a big
Oh, of
leather
course.
book that you like write birds when you see them?
Well, I use my phone for that. But I bring my binoculars. I bring
Sick.
my bird identification little pamphlet I have. If I'm feeling really fun, I'll bring my National Geographic Guide to Birds of North
Oh, wow.
America. Bring snacks.
Okay. All right. So walk me through. Now, I know I probably seem too curious about this, but I always wanted to get into something like that. Like I always wanted to get into an observational hobby. And for some reason, birding was always very fun to me. Like it seems like something you would dress up in like safari gear, and you'd have not Birkenstocks, but you'd wear long socks and shorts to it. You know what I
I mean,
mean?
it depends where you go. If you are going to like a prairie environment, I would definitely recommend long socks.
If I am going birding and I'm using the verb birding, I'm wearing khaki shorts, long socks, and some sort of boot.
Sure. I mean, you
Yep.
can do birding in any outfit, really. Like a
Did
lot
we
of
get
people
onto
bird.
birding from butter chicken?
It's a bird.
I don't know.
It's a natural segue.
Yeah, very natural. Okay.
Before that, I'll just say that anyone can do birding. You can even do birding inside. You just look for birds and like, oh, that's a bird. I wonder what kind of bird that is. But anyway, we were doing birding. I did not see a tundra swan or an American woodcock that I was looking for. But after that, oh wait, hold on. One of the nicknames.
Your name is Geese Peep.
Yes. I did peep a goose.
Just remember, everybody, you got to go to work at some point. Got to get ready for work at some point.
Let me just say this. One of the nicknames for an American woodcock is a bog sucker, and I think that's really great. Anyway, after birding, we went to Trader Joe's and we got groceries. We got a butter chicken thing and falafels. They were pretty good.
Normally, I wouldn't do this, but Taylor, please recommend her Trader Joe's items because you love Tribly Jane's and all their items.
Honestly, I haven't been there since they stopped serving their soy and flaxseed tortilla chips. I am so beyond heartbroken that I can't deal with it. They do have very good, if you like chicken sausage and you don't want to deal with the pork like casing that it's in, they do have just chicken options available. Their yogurt is good. Their cheese is good. Prices
tomato
are,
soup,
of course,
right?
very reasonable. Yep. They have good
I do
red
know
pepper
all
tomato
these
soup.
things. I've been to a Trader Joe's before.
No, I'm saying he has good recommendations for you because he went to Trader Joe's like 4 times a week for years.
Yes.
I mean, I also went to Trader Joe's.
All right, whatever.
Okay, Miss Birding expert, tell me what to get at Trader Joe's.
Taylor, talk about your soup.
I just made some onion soup. I'm going to be making it again this weekend. I've been cooking so much. I talked about it last time, but onion soup is just fantastic. It's one of the few things that I'll actually make that takes a little bit of effort. Most of the time, I like doing things just, whatever I feel like, but onion soup is something I will prepare a little bit for.
Is that the famous Turkish mustache soup?
Yes, it is. I hate this thing. I've been trying to hide it behind my microphone, but
if you hate it, why do you have it?
Because I am it is being requested of me. I do not like it. I am not complicit in its existence.
My girlfriend?
Yes.
Well, Papa gun can, but
yeah. Not her specifically.
Wait, what?
Which part doesn't make sense?
Wait, who was requiring you to grow the mustache? I'm confused about that part.
I just he likes mustaches because this reminds him of her dad. He's going through some health stuff, so he gets a kick out of it whenever he sees it.
Way to be insensitive, Geese. He's going through health stuff, and you're giving him a hard time.
What a wild thing to ask for.
It makes him laugh whenever he sees it. Understandably so. It's a very amusing piece of
makes him laugh.
Very amusing accessory.
Mm.
I'm not around people often enough that it comes into play. Just physical therapy. Oh, I know they're all laughing at me too.
Taylor has a ridiculous mustache, but that's
I don't think it's ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous.
You're always making fun of mustaches, Geese.
It's true. I am too.
If you knew Taylor like I knew Taylor, you would think it's ridiculous.
I know Taylor like I know me, and he thinks it's ridiculous.
Okay, somebody send it over to Poké News of the Week.
And now here's reporter Geese Peep with the Poké News of the Week. Gosh darn it, I always confuse. What's it called? Conflate them? I conflate everything?
Sure.
Over to you, Guyera.
Did you mean to have Hatsune Mice Peeps, but you didn't?
It's a different microphone. That's the kitchen mic that has that.
What is it? Is it Hatsune Geese Peep? What did you come up with, Taylor?
I said
Imogen Peep.
Imogen Peep.
Oh, Imogen Peep. That's good.
Yeah.
In Poke News of the week this week, big news, as the kid on the TikTok says. Clambos. Oh no. Pokemon Go has announced that they're deciding to make a big giant mistake, and we all hope they change their mind, much like how they changed their mind over the distance you can spin a Pokestop. They doubled the distance during the pandemic, and then they tried to take it back to half distance, and everybody was so upset. And luckily, they changed course on that, because I wouldn't be able to play the game if they half the distance. But here's the terrible news, Clambos. Cerebi reports that Niantic have announced, because he's British, a nerf to the ability to use remote raid passes in Pokemon Go from April 6th.
Oh my God.
You will only be able to use 5 remote raid passes a day, which may increase for special events, which is bad
What?
for all the people in the Discord who try to remote raid all the time, try to catch a shiny. The price of the remote raid pass 3-pack will increase to 525 Pokecoins. The price of a single remote raid pass will increase to 195 Pokecoins. Clambos, you listen to me.
Okay.
Remote raid passes used to be 100 coins, and a 3-pack was like 2 something. So they're goofing us hard
Inflation.
now.
It all changed after the Suez Canal. All those Pokecoins got lost in the water.
That's why you don't see me raiding anymore. I used to be on the raiding that, and I think I have most of the legendaries there raiding shiny already. But I haven't been doing it in a while, and they just keep increasing the prices and restricting people. No, thanks, is what I say. So Clambos, go out there and tag Niantic and say, listen to us, hashtag Niantic, and I'm not happy. You better change it back. What, you don't like money? What, you're restricting us from buying passes? Come on, get it together.
What, you don't like fun? Yeah.
Hashtag justice for Rowlet.
Yeah.
Justice
and justice
Rowlet.
for Bidoof. Make a new spin-off with Bidoof, Niantic, you cowards.
Taylor, would you like to see one of the... Yeah, you cowards. Hey, Taylor, would you like to see a present I got for you from Japan?
Ooh, yes. I love presents. If you got me a scratch off with a whole bunch of Pokecoins on it. Oh, man. The bad thing is I can't eat it. I'll eat it and frame it. That's a good idea. It's a Bidoof snack. Oh, my God. What
Bidoof snacks.
Oh.
Bidoof
For those
nuggets.
of you who don't know, Bidoof is my favorite
when
Pokemon.
Bought that.
What was it like at Ground Zero, Geese?
It was too hot. Like every Pokemon Center in Japan, it was too hot inside.
Well, it's not just the Pokemon centers. The way Japan works is, and people in Japan, Japanese people, are used to this. Their body can handle it. But if it's cold outside, Japan's idea of what to do inside is, to make up for it, how about 98 degrees inside? And so you come in with all your jackets on into 98 degrees, and as an American, as a foreigner, as a Westerner, you go, and you're ripping off your coats. It's a whole to do.
They call that the Gaijin heat.
They do call it the Gaijin heat. But Gaijin is actually offensive these days. It's Gaikokujin is more polite.
Well, I'm just quoting.
Taylor was just saying lyrics. Okay.
Yep, it's true.
Let's send it over to reporter Geese Peep for the Weather Report of the Week. This week from...
Hi, it's me. Wait, this is the wrong one. Whoopsie.
The lore this is establishing behind reporter Geese Peep is so interesting.
Okay. Hold on. Hi, it's me, reporter Geese Peep. I'm Cinnabar. Where is
What? Cinnabar Island, Cinnabar?
How did you get your voice that high?
You've still never said it while us can hear it, or we're not interrupting you. So say it one more time.
I'm in Singapore.
Oh, Singapore.
And it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's storming and raining, and there's a lightning bolt. Ah!
Oh, God.
Poor repeater.
It's really humid here, and it's hot, and I should have brought a raincoat and an umbrella. Oh well. Anyway, this has been Reporter Geese Feet for Wildcat Elementary News. Back to you.
Thank you, Reporter Geese Peep, and thank you, Taylor, for giving me poor peppers.
I tried.
All right, Clambos, you know what time it is. We did Reporter Geese Peep. That means it's time to talk about the episode this
Poke
week.
news of the the episode.
The episode. Pokemon.
Oh, I didn't get to talk about the video games I'm playing.
Talk about the video game you're playing, gamers.
Don't lie. You talked about
Butter chicken.
I heard you go on about
Ted Lasso. Birding.
You said, I promise the word City Skylines left your lips.
It did.
But you can
No.
well,
You
yes.
said, you said City Skylines.
No, hold on. Maybe
Okay.
you didn't discuss City Skylines, but I
Right.
promise you said the word City Skylines. But continue. Go ahead. Talk about City Skylines.
Because I was going to ask about it.
That's all I would say. That I started playing City Skylines because Keith, friend of the show, Keith Squared, plays it all the time, and he inspired me, and so I started playing it, and it's really good, and that's it.
You heard it here first. Keith is an inspiration.
Yes, he is. Thank
Him
you
and
for
Kyle,
the boilerplate.
Nope. Those Canadians can do no wrong.
We love our Canadians.
Shouts out Canadians. Clambos and Taylor and Geese, are you ready to speak about the episode this week?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me the name of today's episode. Is it episode 6? Is that correct?
I
Aim
think
to-
so.
Aim to be a Pokemon
Sure.
Master? I think this episode is very good. What is the
It
name of the
is.
episode in English?
And we're looking at the same moon.
Or in Japanese, Soshite, Onaji月を見ている.
Okay, now I can ask this question. Okay, so it's not a question. Every single time you're about to read the episode, I have such incredible anxiety because I feel like I've watched the wrong one.
too.
So it's like
Yep,
a
me too.
prize reveal at the end of a game show.
That's why I try to give you the title so you can kind of tell.
Hmm.
And also just watch when you're watching the episode, get to the end and then past the credits, which you should be watching the credits because it's cute.
Mhm.
Then it says next time on Pokes, and then
Yeah.
you'll know you're going to watch the next episode, right? Clambos, we open with Brock and Misty cleaning dishes and talking, and Ash and Pikachu are snoozing under a tree. And Clambos, I'm here to tell you now, it's the cutest, most adorable opening to an episode you've ever seen.
I want to take a nap with Pikachu under a tree when it's really nice out and warm.
And they're relaxing, and he'd be wearing your little hat, Geese. You know the hat you wear?
Oh,
you put your
well, I
birding.
did
ponytail
get a
through?
hat. I did get a hat. I got a hat in the airport with the extra yen I had, and it says Tokyo on it.
That's so sick.
Oh, so people know where you got it. So when
yeah.
someone's like, "Oh, that's a cool hat. Where'd you?" and then they're like, "Ah, now I feel silly."
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened. Geese. But what happens? Who shoots a net at our boy Ash and Pikachu?
One of the fastest Team Rocket appearances like we've seen in a while.
I have
I'm
some
sorry, can
notes
you
about
ask
that.
Hatsune Miku or Imogen Peep to tell us who showed up?
Team Rocket.
Thank
you.
Perfect.
They get
Yes.
right to it.
We got things to do, people to see, stories to tell. But
I mean, this
they
is
have a yes, huh? They have
this
a
is-
very
this is
sick.
the-
What?
one of what?
Taylor?
Look,
I was going to say they have a very sick Meowth mech. Go ahead, Taylor.
this is one of the only times where we didn't get the foreboding seeing Team Rocket in the bushes. It's just straight into it.
Clambos, don't you worry. They're going to be scheming and sneaking behind a tree and a bush later. So don't feel bad.
I was worried.
Don't.
Okay.
Clambos, the music is great. Such a sleek intro. Let me explain to everyone. There's a joke, there's a pun that's made that perhaps you wouldn't get when they said nothing's the matter, nothing's the matadogas. That's wheezing in Japanese. which I knew because in Pokemon Black and White 2, there is a gym where they're singing Roxy's gym. She's a poison type gym leader and she has a coughing on her team. So in Japanese, on this little DS cartridge, you've got these people singing a song going Dogars, which is coughing in Japanese. In English, it's dumb. I think they just say like Pokemon. But in Japanese, they say the name of coughing.
Just yelling out Pokemon. That's good.
So they're trapped in a net, and Ash says, "Go Snivy! Use a leaf storm on us to free us from the net." Which Sutaja, aka Snivy, does immediately. He cuts the net. Ash falls out. But Geese, what happens with Pikachu?
Pikachu's little zigzag tail gets stuck in the netting, and so he blasts off with Team Rocket.
And there's an additional explosion in the air. It sends Meowth and Pikachu and Ash's hat in one direction, and Jesse and James in another.
Which, whenever I see something like this, I get real excited because I normally know right where it's going, where you're going to have to fend for yourself in the wilderness and cooperate with your frenemies. And I was very excited about it.
I love frenemy cooperation.
Okay, so question for the show. Of the members of Team Rocket, who do you think is before this episode, who do you think is the most likely to make friends with Ash and crew?
Meow.
Wobbuffet.
Yeah, Wobbuffet just kind of goes along with it. I would say James. I don't feel like James is into it as much as Jesse.
You mean like the shenanigans?
Yeah, I feel like James could very easily any one of the little side ventures they've had. I feel like James would just be totally fine continuing that.
I think Jesse's definitely the most hesitant to be friendly towards the twerps.
Most ambitious within the company for sure. She's a company woman.
She's a hashtag girl boss.
I would say that she's probably I would say she's the boss of this particular chapter of Team Rocket.
But this is an interesting plot idea. I'm kind of surprised they've never done this before. Who are we kidding? They probably have, and we just haven't seen the episode. Clambos, Pikachu is so cute with Ash's hat on. Oh my god. Pikachu and Meowth are in a river, and they're gonna die. And who's chasing them?
I was so concerned because the Gyarados was chasing them, and it's terrifying. It's a terrifying Pokemon. Let's be real. Gyarados, terrifying. And it was chasing them, and I was like, oh, this is a stat, because I'm always looking at like how the dynamics of the Pokemon world, right? And I'm like, okay, so Gyarados wants to eat them. And then I was like, no, it's just being territorial. Okay.
That did not sound like you were done with your sentence. That was weird.
Oh, yeah, I was long story short. Short story short. Worried Gyarados eat Pokemon? No eat Pokemon.
No.
Only
No
defend
eat
territory.
Pokemon.
River.
No eat Pokemon.
Gyarados.
It chases both the Pokemon. Ash and Meowth run up a waterfall. And here's what I have to say about this scene.
Ash and Meowth.
What did I say?
Ash and Meowth.
Oh, Pikachu and Meowth. Ash is somewhere else. Ash didn't get blown away. Pikachu, quick question. What type are you? Quick question.
Electric.
Quick question. Gyarados, what is Gyarados 4 times weak to? What are you afraid of?
I was thinking the same thing.
Pikachu, golly.
I was like, this is maybe, I don't know.
Anyway, they get onto land, and Pikachu is ready to throw hands. He's gonna fight Meowth. He's so mad. Meowth says, we gotta have a truce for the time being. And Geese, does Meowth do a very cute face that we all screenshotted at this point?
Yes, he does. Little big, starry eyes. It's very
While
cute.
talking about how hungry he is.
Oh, that's how you get Taylor. Tell him you're hungry, and he'll feel compassion for you.
I'm hungry.
But
Geese, you're gonna make me cry on stream.
But it's not a stream, even close to it. But then
It could
Meowth silently thinks to himself evil thoughts. So don't trust that cat, Clambos. Am I right?
be. Got him.
Got him. So Pikachu runs off. Meowth asks Pikachu what he means by he can tell where Ash is heading because they're having a conversation and Pikachu just sprints off because Ash and Pikachu can, we learn in this episode, or perhaps a movie, who's to say, we learn that they can sense each other and their actions and can feel each other. So they both are running towards the direction of each other. We cut to the twerps. They're having the exact same conversation Pikachu and Meowth are having. Clambos, look, this episode is just cut to the episode because we're just following the different crews of people that we've seen now split up. So you just get ready for that. Okay.
They have some fun little Boondock Saints moments where they'll do like, oh, this is what happened here.
Oh, yeah. That is fun. When they detective out what happened. Very safe. Okay, so it sounds like Pikachu and Ash, moving on with the episode, it sounds like Pikachu and Ash can halfway read each other's thoughts. And then we see that Meowth is so exhausted and hungry, and he runs to go see some berries in a tree, but there's some Pidgeys eating the berries. So, Geese, what does Meowth decide to do when he sees the Pidgeys eating the berries?
He's throwing rocks at them to try to make them leave.
But Taylor.
So rude. How rude.
How rude. But Taylor, when he throws the rock, what does it hit?
A Fearow.
No.
Is that not what it's called?
A Spearow.
Spearow.
Fearow is much bigger.
Yeah.
In a world.
In a world. Clambos, Taylor.
Geese must have been going crazy. So many birds in one scene.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the screen and shouting like, "Ah!"
I know what that is.
That's a bird.
I actually did. I was proud. I did know the Spearow and the Pidgeys. So
Nobody likes somebody who brags. Just because I called it a Fearow doesn't mean that I'm stupid and inadequate, okay?
Taylor, Pikachu shocks the birds, but also burns the berries. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
But, oh my God, the Spearow, what does the Spearow do, Geese?
It gets real mad and it starts chasing and attacking and getting the other birds to use their wings.
So normally you'll have them be like, oh, Bulbasaur. Sparrow just screams. So you have this little guy like, Pika, Pika, Pikachu, and just, ah! It's very funny.
Okay, Geese, continue.
And he gets the Pidgeys and everyone to flap their wings and to make a bunch of wind that makes Pikachu and Meowth go flying and the hat to go flying, and they end up in a cave.
Yeah, first they're chasing him, and then Meowth notices a cave, points it out, and then Pikachu starts running towards the cave because they see the Zubat go in. And yeah, then all the Spearow do the gust attack, and they end up in there.
This is after a double freak out moment with the Spearow and Meowth and Pikachu, and I really enjoy double freak out moments.
But oh no, Clambos. What happens to Ash's hat?
I remember seeing it get blown away. Does it? I forget where it lands though, like somewhere outside the cave.
It's like on top of a tree.
So what happens is there's a big cave hole at the top of the cave. We're going to come back to this cave hole a couple times. But the hat flies through the cave hole and then flies past a Caterpie and then lands on a real tall tree. Then we cut to Ash, and Ash is already in detective mode because he's hot on the trail for Pikachu, and he notices the burnt orange berries from the electrical attack, and he can tell they were hit with 100,000 volts, or thunderbolt in Japanese. I mean, in English.
Kind of interesting because I wonder what they would look like if they had been hit with fire instead of electricity.
Who's to say?
Man, Ash is smart.
Brock notices a Spearow feather, and then they see that flock of Spearow. They figure out what happened, and then the Spearow try to attack them, and they try to run away. Cut back to Pikachu and say Meryl.
Close enough.
Cut to Pikachu and Meowth. Meowth's telling Pikachu that the hat is long gone. Don't worry about it. But Geese, Pikachu's not giving up, and he climbs up the rocks to get through the cave hole.
I've seen this scenario play out way too many times in horror movies. I was watching one recently where somebody just has to go back for a stuffed animal. And everybody's like, no, don't do it. And they have to go back for it. And that leads to, the bad part of the movie.
Classic mistake. Amateur
Yep.
mistake.
Amateur hour Pikachu over here.
Glambos, this is what I got to say about Pikachu climbing up the rocks. The music playing in the background is the best JRPG music you could ever imagine. And I know I say it every week, but there's no way you're getting that good song in the dub. No way.
Absolutely not. Probably just going to get some Cardi B.
Got him.
They wish they could get Cardi B.
Her mom works in a cashier's line at a college.
Pikachu asks Caterpie from before if he saw a hat. Caterpie says yes. Follow me. But
so good.
But in a very amusing fashion, Geese, what's the problem with following Caterpie?
He's slow. He's got little baby legs.
That's right. He's too slow. They're never going to get that hat in time.
They do the mid-episode thing with the magnifying glass. It's like the Who's That Pokemon situation. Seeing it say, it's Caterpie, and then at the bottom of Caterpie, it shows the type, right? And it just says, Caterpie, bug. I was laughing.
He's a bug type. We cut to the kids, the twerps, recovering from the attack of the Spearow. And that Spearow that was hurt from before, that got hit in the head with a rock, is real upset. And his boys ran off. He's all alone. But Geese, what does Brock decide to do to help this Spearow?
He blindfolds Spearow to calm it down, which is an actual tactic people who own birds do. They don't blindfold the birds, but they just put a cloth over their cage or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sprays it, right?
Yeah, with a potion. We got great Pokemon Center music while Brock is doing this.
There's something they do with the animation that I really like in anime, where somebody's very delicately doing something. And I don't know if it's like the physics of the interaction of like the wrapping and the gauze and everything, but he just seems like he's being so delicate and ginger with everything he's doing and the way that the gauze is draping. It's very satisfying.
It's like a Ghibli movie. And then we cut to a Rattata. And a Rattata is digging through Ash's backpack. Now, Clambos, you tell me, why does Ash have the most generic cartoon Tom and Jerry piece of cheese in his backpack? You can't even blame the Rattata. That's a piece of cartoon cheese. How's he going to resist?
My note says, what? They just have giant chunks of Swiss cheese in the backpacks?
You don't?
I guess. It gives you some insight into Ash's diet.
It was crazy. But
imagine getting the food and then passing out because you're so hungry.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Geese, what happens with poor Rattata when he's trying to eat the cheese?
He tries to eat the cheese and then runs away when he gets yelled at, but he can't because he's so hungry.
He's so hungry, he collapses, much like all of us.
All the time.
Clambos, Ash was gonna save the Tom and Jerry cheese for Pikachu, but this poor little Rattata feels bad for, so maybe he can have a little bit of cheese.
Don't tell Pikachu that.
But he tries to give Rattata the cheese, but instead, Rattata crawls all over him and starts sniffing. And Geese, what does Rattata sniff on Ash?
Pikachu.
That's right. Brock explains that. Yes, Geese?
I'm looking at a bird right now. It's a downy woodpecker.
How do you know? What are its markings?
I love how you changed from Geese Peep to the way you said, that's a downy woodpecker, to a 55-year-old man in a log cabin. That's a downy woodpecker.
So I'll tell you what that reminded me of. Bubs.
Oh,
100% that reminded me of Bubs.
Bubbles, yeah.
So good. Talking about shopping carts or something.
Yeah.
Cats.
Yeah. So that's a downy woodpecker. All right, so Brock explains that Pikachu and Rattata are both mouse Pokemon, so that's why Rattata is sniffing and wondering who the heck other mouses have you been hanging out with? Mice. He sniffs the Pikacent, he eats the cheese finally, and then because Ash was so kind with the cheese, Rattata agrees to help them out. He's going to sniff out Pikachu and they're going to find Pikachu.
What's a woodpecker doing, Geese?
Pecking the wood.
Got him. Ash also invites Spearow. Ash is such a good trainer. He just makes friends everywhere he goes. All the Pokemon love him.
And the most important thing is I think he always asks.
Yeah. Not in the early seasons, but now he does, yes. He asks for
Yeah.
Okay, Geese.
We love growth.
Yes,
we
we
love
do.
it.
Geese,
Mhm.
could you email Imogen Peep or Hatsune Miss Peeps and ask her who is standing behind the tree as the twerps walk away towards the cave?
Team Rocket.
Team Rocket is scheming as per usual. Jotty boy this, Jotty boy that. Who knows what their plan is? I don't know. We get to Pikachu and Meowth walking real slow with the Caterpie.
God, I love Caterpie.
Eventually, Meowth decides, I can't take it anymore. I'm just going to pick the Caterpie up. Just going to grab it. And then Pikachu jumps onto, and it's all too much for little Caterpie. But then, what does Caterpie reveal he is also can do?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Oh my God, it's so sick. He uses, and Clambo's Geese can tell you she saw this exact thing in a Ghibli short film. When I went to the Ghibli Museum in Japan, we got to watch a movie in a theater, and this was the exact same plot as that movie. A little bug that could be Spider-Man by swinging around on her little goofballs.
That's pretty sick. I love Caterpie.
I think what it was the male bug, tiny bug, could do the Spider-Man stuff, and the girl bug was a water skimmer, so she could just go real fast on the water. I think it's how that worked.
It's just a video game.
But Caterpie is Spider-Man. He uses his string shot like Spider-Man. So Meowth, Pikachu, and Caterpie are just flying so fast through the trees towards the big giant tree with the Ash's hat.
Didn't Ash have a Caterpie for a while?
Yeah, evolved into a Butterfree and then fell in love with a Butterfree and left.
Right. Why wasn't Caterpie doing all this slinging around sick stuff before?
Okay, we see the tree clambos. Oh my God, Pikachu's gonna climb up and grab the Ash's hat. But oh my God, there's a bunch of Venipede. Terrifying Venipede, but they're sleeping.
Were you getting the vibes of the God of War tower? Remember that thing?
Oh, well, no, because this is more like a sneaking mission. God of War, I wouldn't call that sneaking. But Pikachu's trying to be stealthy and not wake up the Venipede, and the music is great. It's like, what would you describe? I wrote here Spanish guitar bossa nova world music. What would you describe that music as?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I would say Spanish guitar. It was very jarring.
I thought it was sick.
I mean, it is sick.
But the Pikachu, Ash's Pikachu, you know Pikachu, the one, you know the guy.
Yeah.
He climbs all the way up to the top of the tree and doesn't alert a single Venipede.
But then Meowth sneezes.
Pikachu gets the hat. They're cheering, and then yes, Meowth is trying to hold it back. After a leaf falls on his nose, he lets out the loudest sneeze imaginable, and all the Venipede wake up and they begin to attack. And Pikachu's running down. He climbs back down. Spider-Man away, Caterpie, quickly! But the Venipede, they all attack, and they use their poison sting attack in Meowth's butt. Oh no!
Just imagine a world where there's a Caterpie Bidoof spinoff.
So cute.
Mm-hmm.
A better world.
Yes.
Thanks for the backup, Geese. Make it happen, Game Freak.
Yeah, no problem. Geese, you would make such a good goon or lackey.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, no problem.
Have I
boss.
mentioned?
You got it, boss.
Geese, I know I've told Michael about this plenty of times. Have I mentioned how much I want to either be a goon or have goons?
No.
That is one of my favorite dynamics in media. I love seeing some cronies agreeing with a boss.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And there's always a giant dumb one and a tiny smart one, and they're always working together. It's such a good dynamic.
Good dynamic. It's a good dynamic.
Meowth is screaming in pain, and we cut to the twerps climbing out of the cave hole, and it's getting dark out there, Clambos. Brock is yelling for Pikachu. Like I said before, Ash is following the footsteps of Pikachu, so they're just going everywhere they went. And they're detectiving out what's happening. What happened, just like Taylor said, the Boondock Saints. Wait, not Boondock Saints, All Saints Day? What's the movie called?
Yeah, Boondock Saints.
Oh, okay. Not Boondocks. That's something else.
Yeah.
Misty sees the Venipede and she's never been more scared in her entire life. It is a very scary bug Pokemon, centipede, poison, very scary.
Poor Misty.
Spearow, the Spearow that has accompanied them, is now going to yell at the Venipedes. And then Rattata whispers in Ash's ear, this is the wrong way anyway. We got to go over that way. And then the Venipedes surround them. But then the Spearow flock shows up. And all the friendly pokes that they met hold back the Venipede while the twerps escape. Very nice of them. We cut to Pikachu, Meowth, and Caterpie at night. Meowth is dying, clambos from the poison attack. And it's like me and my Tumbo yesterday.
No, from Avocado and Pico.
I know. But then Pikachu remembers there's a berry that can cure poison. What does Pikachu remember Ash giving him?
A berry.
Caterpie draws the berry on the side of the cliff. What would you call that? Cliff?
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
Okay, all right. On the side of the rock, which is so sick. Caterpie is this. I know this is all supposed to be about the bond between Ash and Pikachu and how they're psychically linked or whatever. This is Caterpie's episode. Make no mistakes.
Caterpie is adorable as they discuss the berry.
He makes the cutest little noises.
He does. And Geese, what Pokemon hops out of the grass out of nowhere to greet them?
An Oddish.
And that Oddish is happy as a clam. I don't know what for, but Pikachu asks Oddish, hey, you know where I can find this?
Speaking of berries, earlier when I forgot to mention this, earlier when Brock was treating the Spearow, I love seeing things work in real time, and seeing that potion work was very cool for me. Wish we had spray like that. Just use it on my knee. One day.
Pikachu asks Oddish, where can I find a Pecha berry that will cure poison? And Oddish says, I got you. Follow me. They walk off. Then we cut to Ash, and Ash, in classic Scooby-Doo fashion, in the middle of the night says, let's split up. But Brock says, it's the middle of the night, Ash. I'm sure Pikachu's resting. Let's just calm down. Let's take a rest. Let's set up camp, get some rest, and we'll go first thing in the morning, first light.
Brock is really turning into the voice of reason in the show.
He's always been the voice of reason. I mean,
really?
Outside of his needing to flirt with a bunch of women, he's always been the adult.
I guess that's true. Yeah. You're right. Okay.
Then we cut to Pikachu giving Meowth the berry, so he's going to feel better. Meowth can't believe how nice that Pikachu was. And Geese, what kind of face do we get from Meowth?
A cute one.
He's so grateful. But then Meowth has to pretend to play it cool, so he goes to sleep after he eats it. And then Clambos, Taylor, Geese,
yes,
please tell us what happens as the clouds move away from the moon and the moonlight shines upon Pikachu's face. And he looks up and sees the cheesiest image of Ash imaginable.
I'll tell you what I thought was going to happen. You can't have a moon like that with clouds parting like that with a character looking up like that and not have a giant Disney musical number. I was 100% expecting just everybody to burst into song and dance.
Somewhere out there.
Exactly.
Beneath
Moon
the
montage.
Pikachu's still wearing his cute little Ash hat. And Geese, what does he do to the hat as he's looking at the moon?
Holds it?
He takes it off his head and he hugs the hat.
Oh, cute.
They've been separated for like a few hours at this point, right?
It is getting darker. He talks to Caterpie about Ash, and then we cut to Ash staring at the same moon as Pikachu, and then Misty with cute hair, might I add. Did you notice Misty's cute hair?
Her hair's down. Her hair's down.
Okay.
Hair's down. Alert.
Good.
Misty asks Ash, you can't sleep? And they say the title of the episode, everyone's favorite moment of an episode. And we cut back and forth to Ash and Pikachu. We cut back and forth, and both of them are discussing how connected they are. And then, Geese, what happens then?
Moon montage.
They're showing memories in the moon, Clambos.
What I wanted more than anything in the world was for Pikachu to be looking up at the moon and there being Ash's face. Ash to be looking up the moon and there be Pikachu's face. Brock to look up the moon and it have every face of every woman he's fallen in love with.
That'd be great.
But instead, we get a nice, sappy song, which I have heard this song before. So this has been in a Pokemon episode, but I don't believe either of you have heard it because I think...
We're amateurs. You can say it.
No, I think the episode I watched, one of you two watched in English. So you wouldn't have heard this specific Goodnight song.
Mm.
But I'm crying. They're showing Ash meeting Pikachu. They're showing Pikachu beating Lieutenant Surge. We're seeing memories from all the seasons. Geese, were you excited when they showed Alola?
Yeah, I was like, ah!
And they showed Ash and Pikachu winning the big, giant champion battle and becoming the greatest trainer and the greatest Pokemon in the whole world.
I wonder if Ash is going to have a playing card made after him.
Yasumi. I think he has
in the not our world, but the Pokemon world.
Oh, I don't know about the Pokemon world.
That'd be so sick. 10 years old, have a baseball card or Pokemon card named after you. That is you.
After the musical number, we cut to the morning time, and Sunshine is hitting Meowth's coin on top of his head. Oddish is cute, and Meowth is hungry, much like me right now. Starving.
Poor Meowth.
Taylor, make sure to try to get the Wendy's deal today through Wario64. It's $30 off on Grubhub.
Goodness.
Should be 5 p.m. your time, I think.
Okay.
Pikachu gives Hungy's Meowth a Leppa berry, which in the game restores your power points. PP up.
Are you sure it's not a Pesci berry?
No, it's Leppa.
Hmm.
And Meowth says, "Oh, for me, but what about you?" And Pikachu reveals he's got plenty of them under his hat. Then, Geese, we cut to the twerps, and what are they eating?
Also Leppa berries.
Oh my god.
And Geese, what do Ash and Pikachu both do with their Leppa berries?
Break it in half.
And then they feel each other's bond, and they sprint towards each other because they can both feel themselves opening the berries at the same time, and they sprint and they're screaming, they're yelling. They find each other. They were that close the whole time, and they jump in the air, and Pikachu's so excited, and he shocks Ash out of excitement, and it's fine. But oh my god, Geese, what did they jump over?
A big cliff.
Oh my god, they should be paying attention to such things.
Second Scooby-Doo moment of the episode.
Oh god, they're falling off the cliff. It is curtains. They are going to die. Their friends watch them perish. But then, at the last second, Geese, I swear to Christ, if you don't know this Pokemon's name this week,
Geese.
I'm turning off the podcast.
You got this. You got
What
this.
invisible Pokemon flies down at the very last second to save Ash and Pikachu?
Come on, Geese.
You say it every week. You said it a couple days ago.
Think of the future of the podcast before your next words.
Is it like Lapidus or Lapidos?
Yeah, Lapidust. Lapidust flies down and saves Ash and Pikachu.
What is it? Well,
Latias.
Latias.
Good job.
And Lapidust just drops them off on the ground, and Ash's reaction is hysterical. He's confused because they didn't see the Pokemon. It was invisible. So as far as Ash is concerned, there's been some Deus Ex Machina just grabs him and puts him. He's like, "Oh, that's fine. Well, Pikachu, I'm glad to see you." It's very, very amusing.
So what I wanted to happen before when they were being electrocuted, in my mind, what I really wanted them to do was just they run, they hug each other, big electric shot, just hard cut, and that's the end of the episode. And then you play that nice little song and in the outro, in the credits, you show Meowth going back to Team Rocket, Ash getting his hat back from Pikachu. But then I was like, okay, I guess they need to have Latias in there. And then after Latias saves the day, I thought it was very strange that nobody at all said anything about it.
Nah, it's fine. They have big hugs, and then Team Rocket shows up in their balloon, and they call for Meowth. They throw a rope down for Meowth to climb up. And then I wrote Mercrease.
You know what bothered me? At the
Huh.
end, when like Meowth went up the rope, neither him nor Pikachu said goodbye to Caterpie, who helped them through this journey.
Their good friend Caterpie. Maybe it was just slightly off screen when they said goodbye.
I do want Caterpie to join Team Rocket.
But Meowth is crying because Jesse and James came back for him, which is very sweet.
It is.
And Team Rocket says to the twerps, "You're off the hook this time." And then Clambos, the announcer's making me cry because the announcer says Pikachu and Ash have always been and will always remain the greatest of friends. That is the end of the episode.
Here's what I want to have happen. I want Team Rocket in their last episode. I want Team Rocket to catch Pikachu and give him back. And that's the end of their arc. We did it, but we're retiring or something. And
Unfortunately, that episode has already happened. I think Geese and I watched it.
Oh, spoil.
Don't you remember, Geese? We were watching an episode in the last season where it was the first
Spoilers.
episode that Team Rocket actually succeeded. Do you remember? Geese is shaking her head no. It's great for audio, but Clambos, please write in looklistandcast@gmail.com and write in your questions and concerns. And remind Geese, because I know we watched an episode where Team Rocket succeeded. And it was like the first time they ever did that.
But see, it would be great because they could retire after realizing, oh, that we don't need to catch Pikachu. And then they can just take over the entire global economy with their various masteries of different aspects of business.
That's true. Unfortunately, I have to go to work. So, Geese, please give us the wrap up.
Boilerplate,
okay.
Geese.
Golly.
I'm hungry. I need some food.
Thank you all for listening. You can follow us on Look, Listen, Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can follow him on Twitter.
Tweet peep/Keith Squared. Let's go.
Tweet on twitch.tv/Keith Squared. Thank you to our supporters. Tell them about how they can support us, Guyera.
Please go to looklistandcast.com and you can support us on a monthly basis on the new Spotify for podcasters, which they'll probably have us do it at some point. Shouts out to Professor Ticklebits. It's his birthday today, but you'll hear this in a week, so happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you for the website and the boilerplate. You can watch him on twitch.tv/prof_ticklebits. He streams all sorts of games, and Geese Peep's always on there too, a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I
That's
am.
fun. That's fun. Hey, Taylor, why don't you tell them people, Clambos, recommend podcast family member, perhaps?
Recommend it's your grandmother can watch this. Now, time for the question of the week. Artie Fine asks, is that the actual person's name, or do I need to switch it like the other? Okay. Artie Fine asks, regarding the recent Look, Listen, Taylor, visit to... I didn't go to Japan. Thanks for reminding me. Artie Fine asks, regarding the recent Look, Listen visit to Japan, what are some of the favorite other places each of you have visited, and what stood out most to you in those places?
Artie Fine, I'm pleased as punch, you ass. The answer is, of course, Canada and poutine and Mother concerts. Poutine's so good.
That for you. I was going to say Canada poutine.
Yeah, you guys got to go to Toronto. I mean, Montreal is supposed to be the poutine capital, but the best poutine I've ever had in my life was in Toronto. French fries, cheese curds, and gravy. It's the best food in the world.
Is that gravy vegetarian on poutine?
No.
Depends on where you go.
I doubt it.
What are you, a hard no, Geese, over here?
I doubt
Identify
it.
one woodpecker and you know about the entire regional cuisine of Canada. Okay,
Got 'em.
Geese.
No, there's some that would be vegetarian. There's some that would not be. Got to ask individually.
And what about you, Geese? Where have you visited that you enjoy, and what stood out to
Geese?
you in the places?
Yeah, Geese.
I've been to so many places. Let me think.
If she says French Riviera again, I'm gonna lose it.
She's gonna say
Well-
Florida. Watch, just sleeper hit Florida.
She's very well traveled.
I guess Dubrovnik. I really like Dubrovnik, and I really had a good time swimming
That's a
in the
lie. Nobody likes
What?
Dubrovnik. No.
Let her finish. Let her finish.
All right. I'll hear you out.
I really enjoyed swimming off of the castle in the sea, and it was really nice.
Objection.
I'll allow it, Your Honor.
And I liked
Sustained.
London because I like to ride the bus.
Wait. You went to what city in the UK, Geese? I mean,
London.
Where?
Taylor's no concept, no basis of understanding.
What?
London.
Oh, so-
And I liked going to the Canary Islands. That was cool. It looked like like Mars or something.
Oh, I must have misread. Artie Fine asks, list every place you visited to make Taylor feel bad about his lack of travel.
Hey,
Geese.
Taylor, you went to Pennsylvania once.
Yeah, I did. Half a
We're
time.
in PA.
Oh boy. McKeesport, which is near Pittsburgh.
That's near where my sister lives.
You know, I heard a rumor about your sister. Isn't she somewhat close to Cardi B's mother?
Yeah.
Very cool. That's basically you have royalty in the family.
Most uninterested noise I've ever heard in my life.
I'm tired. I want to go back to bed.
All right,
You're
good night,
fine.
Geese. Geese is going to sleep, and I'm going to work, and Taylor's probably going to wallow in misery with his legs that don't work.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. Wait, did we ever hear where Taylor went?
No, go Taylor.
Taylor,
Talk
hurry.
about your travel.
Oh boy, places
Love
I've
a
been
go-
that I like. I like a lot of places in the U.S. actually. I would say Bangkok. Bangkok was pretty cool. I really like that.
Oh, that's
very very big city. My favorite city is Tokyo, like hands down. But if I wasn't picking Japan, I'd probably say Bangkok.
Isn't that where you got 600 coffees for 30 cents?
Yes, the exchange rate is fantastic. It was really, really good in Turkey as well, but I think Thailand was even more favorable. That's where my WhatsApp profile picture is. Yeah, because I was in Bangkok, and every morning, the girl that I went with would always joke because I was always buying coffees. I was drinking 5 or 6 coffees a day, and I would just start doubling up on them because they were so
cheap. Shouts out exchange rates, and thank you for listening to another episode of Look, Listen, Cast with Geese and Guyera and Taylor, and where we talk about Pokemon and other things. This was episode 37, I believe.
Remember your grandmother.
Nope, it was 38. Oh, shucks. God.
To be honest with you, that's impressive that you were that close.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Say goodbye. Geese, you know how this works.
Oi.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.